Okay. The year is 2015, but not for long, because it's New Year's Eve. I'm out drinking with the gang to celebrate. I just finished working 2 Christmas jobs, so your boy is loaded. The clock turns 12, 2016 comes rolling in, I give my girlfriend a big old kiss on the face. Life is good. Fast forward 2 weeks, and the aforementioned girlfriend moves away for college. I have this huge falling out with my group of closest friends, and I start a new, full-time, minimum wage job in a call centre selling electricity contracts. Well, boys, I believe this is what they refer to as a tough Hearthstone esports moment. What's a guy to do in such dire circumstances? Turn to drink? Drugs? Absolutely not. Well, actually, yes to both of those, but forget about that. Right now, I'm talking video games. I was still living at home at the time, so with no expenses and somehow even less friends, I saved up a whole month's wages, blew it all on PC parts, and spent 3 days straight trying to figure out how to put the fucking thing together. Finally, against all odds, I get her working.
Hacker man.
Her name is Sunny, and yes, that is a Metal Gear Solid reference, and I love her. For the next few months, if I wasn't sleeping or at work, I was with Sunny. And we went hard. The Witcher, Dark Souls, Fallout, Dishonored, XCOM, Bioshock. I was even able to emulate games I'd missed growing up, like Silent Hill and Wind Waker. It was all I did for too long. And anyone who's been in a similar situation with next to no social life for an extended period of time can tell you, eventually, whatever it is you're using to distract yourself, be it books, movies, games, sex, crimes, whatever, it all starts to lose its appeal. And while I did eventually emerge from my hole and make some new friends, for a long time afterwards, playing video games just made me kinda sad. Many moons later, one night I'm hanging out with my friend James, who, as longtime viewers will recall, is an asshole. And he asks me if I've ever played a game called Devil May Cry. Now, over the years I've come to realise that I've got this real sweet spot for silly shit with a bleeding heart. Shamelessly horny James Bond parody that's actually about patriotic disillusionment and the hypocrisy of war? Yeah, okay, I'll play that. Quirky Holmesian puzzling adventure with time travel and talking animals and also coming to terms with the grief of losing someone you love? Definitely, sign me up. Cowboys in space? Fucking hook it into my veins! So when James sits me down and shows me the tragedy of 2 immortal brothers seemingly damned to an endless cycle of fratricide, immediately followed by this?
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Oh, jackpot. For the next few days, I would come over to James's and we'd just drink beer, eat pizza, play Devil May Cry, and just generally not be kissing girls. But man, it was fun. It was so much fun. And I know that might sound like underwhelming praise, but I can't stress enough how long it had been since I sat in front of a video game and just fucking enjoyed myself. Childlike, no strings attached, fun. If Shadow of the Colossus is the video game equivalent of Citizen Kane, then Devil May Cry was more like playing rounders in the park with your friends after school. How do I translate that to American? Rounders is sort of like baseball, except you play it with a hurley, and also there are no rules. Sure, The Last of Us has some of the most heart-wrenching, engaging character moments ever put to screen. But can you style on a bunch of demons from hell with a guitar made from the corpse of a boss you just kicked the shit out of? Yeah, didn't think so. Devil May Cry 3, Game of the Year, every year. I just immediately fell in love. It was completely over the top and unapologetically silly and oh my god, so fucking hard. I must have died to that 3-headed dog guy 1,000 times, but it didn't matter. I was having fun again. Now, cards on the table, I am a bit of a fake gamer girl. I did need James to coach me through the whole thing, but if that's what it took for me to discover this series, then I'm not ashamed of it. With his help, I managed to beat Virgil 1 and 2 on my first go, and on the second to last mission where you team up with him, James fucking whipped out a second controller and started playing as Virgil, which I didn't even know was a thing, and I don't know, I wound up needing a friend to help me enjoy video games again, and the fact that he physically got to join in at the end, I'm sure that makes some kind of poetic sense. Now, this all went down in late 2018, so while all you nerds were waiting 11 years for Devil May Cry 5, I only had to wait about 6 months. That's a pro gamer move. DMC5 was everything any fan of the series could want. It had a slapping soundtrack, a combat system built from the ground up to generate as much hype as physically possible, and 3 unique characters to play around with it in. You got Nero, who has 13 interchangeable devil breakers, each with their own different abilities, V, who simultaneously controls 3 different demons while reading poetry, and Dante, who can switch between 4 different styles at any time, each allowing for different movesets to be used across 5 ranged and 6 melee weapons, all with their own separate move pools, one of which is just a whole ass fucking motorcycle that breaks off into 2 smaller motorcycles. Devil May Cry 5, Game of the Year, every year. The idea of playfully hammering into some giant world-ending monster who takes himself way too seriously with the goal of not just winning, but looking good in the process, that is just mwah, peak video games, Kino shit. It's so good, I want to go back and play all the older ones now as well. 1, 3, and 4. In comparison, playing this just feels kinda slow to me now. Henceforth, every game should be built around a style rank. As a lot of you probably know, I moved to London last year and I wasn't able to take Sonny with me, which means I haven't really been able to play a lot of video games for the last few months. So when I came back to Ireland for Christmas, I had a whole backlog I wanted to get through. There was Jedi Fallen Order, The Outer Worlds, Disco Elysium, and I was going to finish Persona 5. What actually happened was I played Devil May Cry. I just played Devil May Cry, man, it's so fucking good. I discovered the series in a time when I thought I would never be able to enjoy my favourite hobby ever again, and it reminded me what I love about the medium. Without it, I probably wouldn't even be playing games anymore, let alone making YouTube videos, which is my new favourite hobby, and I fucking love video games. I'll see you guys next time.